come back to discussion and please try this question. ما يشوفوا صار ولا باقي مشكلة؟ اضرب.
انسر فيه هنا؟
لا أنا بتاعي Page number? Page number
132.
yeah, you can see that's not an issue. أنا قلت له هذا answer مني ما يفهم. بعدين قلت له هذا ما شنو قلنا له؟ هذا كتري أسود تركب قلت له هذا جيب.
وضرب عائل.
إيه.
Mr. Muhammad.
أيوة. كيف بالك؟
This one meaning scrap value also or different?
Same نفس الشيء. تيجي له scrap value نفس كمان. مدير. How are you? Doing good? Alhamdulillah. فاهم ولا لا يا أخي؟ هذا يعني direct straightforward question. أول سؤال كم؟ Got it? You got it, Baha?
No.
मालूम मालूम कि तरतीब आदि वाला ला मालूम.
This one معلوم يعني cost 2,500.
Correct.
Depreciation not depreciation. Useful life 3 years.
أيوة.
Scrap value 250.
مظبوط.
Okay. But this period I can't put it.
What?
This period يعني because the question here after which time it will have a scrap value of 250.
Yeah, 3 years. هذا lifetime. Useful economic lifetime of this asset is.
This answer 3 years.
वो قلت له على طول directly. شو المشكلة أنت؟
يعني what is the question?
required هذا اثنين question
calculate the amount. Depreciation, okay.
how much
أيوه.
carrying amount like ND feet.
carrying amount carrying value net book value written down value all same meaning.
Depreciation. Okay.
هذا depreciation مال كل سنة. بعدين هو سؤال أي سنة end أول سنة هذا كم؟
Second question.
لا إيه second
Second question. Calculate the cost accumulated depreciation and the carrying amount CA for each year of the assets life. See how it's meaning?
carrying amount net book value written down value anything you can think about. And they have given equation here. You see? Carrying amount is equal to cost minus accumulated depreciation. هذا أول سنة هذا cost how much?
750.
Cost?
لا depreciation.
لا my question is cost how much? Sorry.
For first year.
First year ولا سنة ثانية ولا أي شيء cost ما في change. Cost won't change.
Cost no change.
Cost won't change.
2,400.
Page number 13.
2,500.
2,500. So how much here?
2,500.
How much here?
Same.
How much here?
Same.
Good. Now هذه أول سنة how much?
750.
سنة ثانية
Double.
إيه يعني how much?
1500.
1500. هذا في سنة ثلاث سنة.
2250.
إيه أيوة.
2200.
إيه correct. هذه أبي شنو؟ هذا ناقص هذا.
يجي.
How much? أول سنة.
1750.
Second year.
This also, this minus this.
Yes. This minus this.
Okay, understand.
Good. So this question, brother, you can do, no? Can I move on or you want me to wait? I can move on? Yeah. What about this question? Can we try? Activity number 5. After this question, actually I forgot to give you one equation. After this question I will give you. Now reducing balance method is to calculate depreciation based on the asset value is reducing year by year. That assumption we are making.
This we'll use the second method.
Yeah, the method we learned, second method. What is the depreciation for the first
Scrap
year?
value how much?
Huh?
Scrap value.
स्क्रैप फी वाला माफी मुश्किल है
Zero, huh?
यानी هو ما في شيء ما في كل
Hmm.
يعني ممكن زيرو even if they tell you that doesn't matter first year depreciation how much Yasser?
2000.
ضربت ال 6000
Now what do you think the answer here?
6000.
Exactly 6,000 here 6,000 depreciation rate
40%.
40%. So depreciation expense,
2400.
accumulated depreciation.
2400.
So the carrying amount
3600.
3,600. So the next year, year 2, carrying amount brought down
3600.
3,600. Like that it will continue.
Depreciation expense same cumulative depreciation.
No, depreciation expense and accumulated depreciation are the same. Other expense for the year. This one continue, like it's total.
Total, eh?
Like mungkin end of the two years,
Carrying amount 6000.
upward wise.
Depreciation 40%.
Rate, correct.
أيوة. Depreciation expense يجي 2400.
Correct.
Why is this also 2400?
First year,
For the first year. أيوة. And the last one
this is net book value. Net book value.
يعني
هذا ناقص هذا. You put it, yes sir?
Is this correct? Is this correct?
Yes, definitely yes, it should be.
Like here?
Should be this minus this. No, continue. If you do that,
This is from this.
correct. So, this is okay. But right here, what you need to do is you need to subtract from this. But otherwise, what you have to do, you just have to subtract this minus this.
It's same answer.
Yeah. 6,000 minus this. 1,03,600 minus this. You should get the same answer. It is the true.
this one, this 340 plus 6.
And accumulated difference. Done? That question done? Mr. Bhumi,
Yeah.
you okay?
Yeah.
Brother Baha,
Yes.
so can I proceed?
No, no. Don't forget it.
Okay, can you try this?
Activity 6.
Activity number 6. We will answer together. Can you answer first part? First year, depreciation double journal entry. Where you will debit and where you will credit.
Depreciation,
Mm.
debit,
Okay, credit.
credit, this one, accommodated,
Accumulated.
accumulated depreciation.
Correct. So that is the answer for the first part.
First one.
So debit, depreciation, expense. Credit, accumulated, depreciation. How much? I think 2,400, right?
Yeah, 2004.
This is the answer to first part of the question. Is that very clear to all of you?
From where you got this number?
Hmm?
This
2,400?
Are
I
example
showed
five.
the sky and then I found the number.
Here, 5.
Habibi, we calculated.
and this question
Up, yes.
Ah. Second part of the question. The treatment of depreciation for all 3 years in relevant ledger accounts. So we will open ledger accounts now. Machine account.
is for all years.
Yeah, 3 years.
Number B, huh?
Depreciation, correct. Expense account, yeah, this is B. And then we also need accumulated depreciation account. First I pay money and buy the machine. So I'm receiving an asset. So I should debit to machine account. How much? 6,000. If I assume I paid by cash, I have to credit to cash. I'm not showing the cash account, no need, because there too many other entries might come there. So we are not ignoring that. So that's the first entry. Then we need to, end of the year, we calculated depreciation. Depreciation came to 2,400. So I debit depreciation expense account and I credit to accumulated depreciation account. And I need to write description. Here, accumulated depreciation. Here depreciation expense. Now we will balance 3 accounts. $6,000. Machine is a balance sheet item or a profit and loss item? Balance sheet item. So it should be carried forward. 6,000 and it will come down here. Depreciation expense is a P&L item or a balance sheet item? It's a P&L item. So I should transfer this to profit and loss account, and this will not be carried forward. Please note that. When we preparing our trial balance, all our profit and loss item, once we completed our P&L and balance sheet, those items will not be continued for the next year. Only the balance sheet items will be continued for the next year. So now the accumulated depreciation is a P&L item or a balance sheet item? It's a balance sheet item. So I carry forward this. Balance, carry forward. Balance, brought forward. This is end of first year. End of first year. Year 2. In the year 2, is there any change to the cost of the asset? No. So it will be remaining the same. So carry it forward. So this will be again carried forward to next year. Now, what is the depreciation expense for the year 2?
1440.
1,440. accumulated depreciation. So here 1440. Depreciation expense.
انا معلوم هذا بس هذا كله مشكله الان. دكتور
شو
محمد هذا الاختصارات يعني سي اف بي اف هذا مشكله مالنا. انا لازم فول وورد.
اوكي هذه اوكي هذا carry forward. اوكي هذه ها ليش هذا مكان ما في يعني
انا عارف بس يجي زياده يعني you have to know this all English and we are Arab people. يعني
والله انت عربي؟ هنا أفضل مني هو لغة إنجليزي ما في أول لغة صح؟ أنا تامل وتامل عربي so ما في فرق.
ايوه سيم بيكسل
شنو؟
وات ذس
هذه
لا دول
هذا profit and loss P&L. So now what we do? We close the depreciation expense account. 1440, 1440, 1440. This will go to profit and loss. And now what we do is we get the balance here. What is the total of these two? 3,800 balance so and now year 2 is over. Year 3 again cost
Same.
of machine will be same, so no change, so just carry forward. Balance brought forward 6,000 colors. This is the answer to machine as per their requirement. Now year 3 depreciation how much? 844 sorry 600 sorry 864 and I need to balance this. It will go to P&L 864. Now we have depreciation expense 864. What is the total of these two?
4704.
4704. 4704. Balance carry forward 47. We have done the ledger accounts. Clear? Any doubt? Baha, clear? Now what we do is we need to prepare third requirement, OC. How they say? CO, CC, sorry. Extracts. What do you mean by extract is, if you tear a piece of paper, that piece of paper is extract. So when I prepare my profit and loss account, I am not going to prepare the profit and loss account for the entire business with all other information. I am going to prepare profit and loss account only to the extent of the depreciation. So that like you take a photo for that area, depreciation area. That's what we call it extract. So here, year 1, year 2, year 3. P&L, depreciation. First year, 2,400. Sub, Sanatani, 1,440. Farm, and the third year, 860. Kalas. Now this is the extract of the profit and loss account. We need to do the same for statement of financial position as well. We'll do that now. Statement of financial position, year 1, year 2, year 3. Cost. Any change to the cost? No change. 6,000. Accumulated depreciation. First year, 2,400. Second year,
1,440.
how much?
3,800.
3,800.
Yes.
47040.
3,840.
4,704. Sub. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah. So now we have net book value. This one, net book value, carrying amount, written down value, any name you give. 3,600. Year 2 how much?
2160.
2,160. And year 3?
1296.
1?
1296.
This is the complete answer. And when you prepare your financial statement, this area, see, this will be part of our balance sheet. And this area will be part of our profit and loss account. Clear? Okay, let me move on. If you are expected to use reducing balance method in the exam, you will be given the percentage rate to apply. You will not have to calculate it. If an exam question gives you the purchase rate of a non-current asset, which is partway through an accounting period, you should generally assume the depreciation should be calculated in this way as a part year amount, unless the question states otherwise. Here I need to discuss two important points. One is using balance method. Suppose if the examiner don't give you the depreciation rate, see, more than 99% of the chance they will give you. It's a 1% possibility they may not give you. In that case, we have to calculate. How we calculate this? That's there's one equation. R is equal to square root of n SV over C. What are these letters? R is the rate of depreciation. N is the useful economic lifetime or number of years. SV is the scrap value. And C is the cost. Understand?
Here the book fee, this is what reducing the balance here in the book or
ايوه لا ما في شيء هذا الكتاب هذا جديد هذا الكتاب مني don't worry in your exam it won't come. It won't come. But I give you why. It's a knowledge for you. Syllabus is there.
this one not coming in the
100% sure they will not ask you to calculate depreciation rate like this. They will give you. See the exam exam focus point. If you read the exam focus point, if you are expected to use the reducing balance method in the exam, you will be given the percentage rate vector. So don't worry, it will come. But if at all you may have to calculate, you know how to calculate. Class. Now, one more important thing. Accounting policy. Now, see, before we talk about accounting policy, this actually, before we reach to accounting policy, it's like a journey. It starts with somewhere else. So let's try to find out where it is. First, accounting concept. Any student who wants to study accounting, he first need to understand the accounting concepts. We studied few. Business entity concept, going concern concept, accrual concept, prudence concept, consistency concept. Like that, there are actually number of accounting concepts. In our journey, we will study time to time. So first thing is accounting concept. Clear? It's like the what we call foundation for our building. After accounting concept, we then learn something called accounting basis. What do you mean by accounting basis? I will give you a good example. When you want to measure inventory, what is the, not measure, when you want to value the inventory, measure the inventory, measure the cost of the inventory, what are the options available for you?
First in, first out.
Exactly, first in, first out,
Life info. FIFO.
FIFO or
LIFO.
LIFO, please don't talk in accounting. In accounting, that is totally out of the scene. You remember we did one question in the revision kit also. You remember, no? In the last Monday we did this. So we have weighted average method and FIFO. These are the two methods available for us to measure the cost of inventory. If you use the word here, value, then it is not about this. The value of inventory is, we learned also a rule, lower of cost or NRV. I would like to share a small experience. 4 days before, I have done one interview for one guy. And I have a vacancy for somewhere. I need to place this man to work as a head of inventory. And this man is CIMA qualified. CIMA is the like ACCA, Chartered Institute of Management Accountants of UK. They are very detailed. They teach about costing, inventory, accounting. They teach in detail. So I asked him, brother, how you value the inventory? He started taking me from now. I need to come to Maidar from my home. He take me to Alcor, Dukkan, and then Nisai, and then he is taking a big round to reach here. He cannot answer directly to tell me inventory should be valued at lower of cost or NRV. He is talking about market value, recoverable value, he is talking about using time, he is talking about historical cost and all that. The pity or the sadness that I am developing, that we attending classes, we studying, we are practicing, the important point is we tend to ignore the importance of this. So I wanted to tell you all, please remember this and try to apply when you are working out. Then only it will stick here. Otherwise, kalas, it won't stick here. Anyway, so this is measurement. You have either FIFO or weighted average. if you happen to do a depreciation, what are the most appealing methods we learned?
Straight line method.
Straight line method and
Reducing balance.
reducing balance method. Straight line method or reducing balance method. Correct? So now you see, Yasser, for one accounting treatment, I have two options. For one accounting requirement, I have two options. This type of situation is known as accounting basis. The alternative principles available to deal and treat with accounting requirement are known as accounting basis. Finally, we have something called accounting policies. What do you mean by accounting policies? Now once you choose this to value your inventory, and that becomes your accounting policy. Until you choose, it was just an option for you. But when you decided, okay, I am following FIFO, then that becomes your accounting policy for your accounting for the next several years. And you choose this reducing balance method, and then that becomes your accounting policy. So accounting policies are concepts, basis, principles, selected by the management for the purpose of accounting
Selected by what?
practice
What is that?
By the management.
Management.
requirement. This is management. Huh? So that is what the accounting policies are. Okay, is that clear? So accounting policy will not develop like this. It has to come into several stages, starting with accounting concepts, then you have accounting basis, then once finally you choose, that becomes your accounting policy. Now we talk about accounting policy for depreciation. We need to understand that. Let's say my accounting year is 1st January 2020 to 31st December 2020. I have possibilities of buying one asset on this date, or I may buy an asset during the period, or I may buy one asset exactly at the end of the period. So you are facing with three different situations. Now the question is, how are we going to depreciate this? Suppose you purchase one asset over here, and that asset is there with me at the entire 12 months in my business. Or you purchase one asset on the 1st of July, then this is with me only for 6 months. Or you purchase one asset on the 31st December, that is there with me for only 1 day. So how are we going to use the depreciation? How are we going to decide the way we calculate depreciation? It is all depending on the accounting policy that the management chooses. The accounting policy related to depreciation, there are three options available. There are option 1. One more thing. I forgot to specify that before I talk about the See here, 1st of January 2020, 31st December 2024. So 2020, 2021, 22, 23, 24. There are 5 years now. So now I could have purchased an asset, as I told you, on this date, and I might sometime sell the asset also. I may dispose it. I might dispose the asset on the middle of the year, and I purchase the asset at the beginning of the year. Or I purchase the asset at the end of the year, I sold the asset at the beginning of the year. So there are different, this type of possibilities are there practically in any business. So how are we going to address the depreciation for us? That's what I'm going to give you now. So the first option, do you understand this? Full year depreciation in the year of purchase. Let's say I purchased the asset on 1st September 2020. And I sold the asset on 1st November 24. Now, how should I calculate depreciation in this year? If I follow the first method, regardless of which month you buy the asset, you simply consider that you purchased the asset on the very first day of the year. You calculate complete full depreciation. But what is important, in your financial statement, under the notes, you need to tell this, that our accounting policy for depreciation is full year's depreciation in the year of purchase and no depreciation in the year of disposal. Now here, I am selling at 1 November. After how many months? Quickly tell me, how many months?
After 11 months.
11 months? No, you are wrong. Well, 1st November, how come 11 months?
10 months.
10 months, Habibi. Got to be very careful. So you use the asset for 10 months, but still we cannot depreciate. Why? Our policy says this. So that is the policy number 1. Number 2. No depreciation in the year of purchase. And full depreciation in the year of this is actually the opposite of the first scenario. Now in this case, I purchased on 1st September. So how many months I am having the asset with me?
September, 8 months.
4 months. 4.
September, right?
Ah,
8 months.
4.
8 months wrong. I purchased the asset on 1st of
Purchase.
September. September, October, November, December. 4 months. But I cannot depreciate if I am following this method. But here I disposed after 10 months, but still I will consider I use the asset for 12 months. So this is the policy number 2. Third policy. What do you mean by this? On an actual basis, on a proportionate manner. So if you go back to this example, You purchased on 1st of September. So the year of 2020, I need to calculate depreciation for how many months?
4 months.
I have to calculate depreciation for 4 months. I sold the asset on 1st of November, so I should calculate depreciation up to 10 months.
Okay, when we use this one or this one?
That's a management policy, yes. So the way the management deciding how to prepare their financial statement, management should decide. Okay, we are choosing this or this. So there is no equation or hard and fast rule or the standard saying no.
That is, this is the best policy, not the filter.
See, most of the people are following actual proportionate basis. You know, but the standard or the practice allowing you to choose one from the 3 methods. Clear? So now we go to understand the next scenario. Up to this is very clear? Can you open another video? Disposal of non-current assets. When it is so common that we buy fixed assets and we sell fixed assets also. So then we need to find out whether are we making profit or loss on our sales. The selling fixed asset, we use the name disposal. So we just need to understand that. So let's say I will pick one small example. I have a machine which cost me 12,000. Then I have the accumulated depreciation for this machine brought forward, let's say 6,000. Now I am selling this machine for 5,000. Tell me, I made a profit or a loss?
6 loss.
How much?
900.
So it was your mental calculation. Can you do it in a calculative manner?
This cost minus accumulated depreciation
Yes.
would come 6,000.
Okay.
Minus this scrap also.
Sales value, not this capital, sales value. You got this much money.
Minus this one would come then into
Yeah, what is that? Profit or a loss for you?
900.
फायदा वाला खसारा.
So,
So everyone know how to find the answer. Now let's find out how to do this in our accounting manner. Entry number 1, transfer of the cost of the asset.
So Muhammad, excuse me, last time you share all of this weekly. Weekly you will share all of this notes, huh?
I shared this last time also. I shared same day, same time. Yani.
Same time.
Less than 30 seconds. Plus two press only. Kalas. Don't go to WhatsApp. So transfer of the cost of the asset. First entry. See, I have here 12,000. When you sell, can you keep this in your ledger? You cannot keep it. No more it is belong to you. So I need to transfer. transferring meaning like this, same like this, deleting? No, I can't delete. What must I do? I should credit here. I should credit here and then debit to somewhere else. So, debit, I need to open up a special account called disposal of fixed asset account. 12,000. And then credit where? That particular fixed asset account. In this case, that is machine. So here I will write disposal. And I will open one T account down here. Disposal 12,000 coming from. Is that clear? Right. After removing the cost of the asset from the ledger, can I keep the accumulated depreciation in the ledger? I cannot keep that also. I need to remove that as well. The normally accumulated depreciation by nature is a credit. For me to remove this, what must I do? I should debit here. Why I am removing this? What is the purpose? Because I am selling this asset to someone. So therefore, I should transfer to where? Disposal account. So the number 2, transfer of accumulated depreciation to disposal. I should debit accumulated depreciation and then credit to disposal. 6,000. 6,000. Clear? So therefore, I should transfer this to disposal account. Then accumulated depreciation 6,000. This is entry 2. Now entry 3. We receive cash. How much cash we receive? When I receive cash, in my cash book, I should debit or credit? I should debit. So where I will credit? Disposal of fixed asset account I will credit. So receipt of cash. Debit, cash or bank. Credit, disposal account 5,100, 5,100. Then cash account 5,100. Is that clear? Right. Now the result. Result could be sometime it's a profit, sometime it's a loss. If it is a profit, looking at this situation, now forget about the numbers. If it's a profit, which side total should be more?
Credit side.
Credit side total must be more. So the balancing figure on the debit side, and so the other entry, credit entry, will be in the profitable account. But if it is a loss, the which side total will be more, debit side total will be more. Therefore, the balancing figure will be on the credit side, so the corresponding entry will be debit in the P&L. Understand me? So the entry number 4, result. If it's profit, debit, disposal account, credit, profit or loss account. But if it's a loss, result. If it's a loss, what you do? You debit profit and loss account and you credit this person. Actually here the situation is that. Am I right? So therefore you have understand. Is that clear? Any doubt? So how many entries? Four entries will come. Transferring the cost, transferring accumulated depreciation, recognizing the payment, and finding out the result. Clear? Right. Now let's move on to. Can we work out this question? Now what they expect in this box? First box.
Profit or loss?
Yeah, you need to say profit or loss. So what you will say here?
26,000. It's a profit.
Profit. And what they expect in this box?
24.
Can this be a text box?
No,
Why?
because they give the same.
Exactly. The dollar sign is there, so it can't be a text box. It should be a number box only. How much?
24.
No?
1,000.
Come on.
I told you 24, but you got angry. I see.
Wala ini ninja lah. How much was that?
1,000.
1,000. That's understood or not?
Yes.
Bahan?
First one 26,000.
Cost is 26,000 brother. And the accumulated depreciation of the asset is 24,000.
Yani
So the net book value how
3,000
much?
minus 2,000. Okay.
So that is
1,000.
1,000. Suppose if this answer is 1,000, how much then? If this number 1,000,
24,
No
25.
profit.
So 1,000 loss.
1,000
Loss.
clear? Okay, so that is that. And then can you complete this also? This two. You know? Listen, class really call the one. One is class really call the.
يعني أول ربع كده في يعني
credit machine
Okay.
26.
Okay. Debit. Yeah.
Debit
Sold value.
Disposal of fixed asset.
Huh?
cumulated
No. Habibi, pen not double entries. Just double entries. Entry one is double one. Disposal double one entry. Into my mother.
لا
Other correct. Nothing. Why you are crediting to that asset account? You are transferring somewhere else. Hamad Hospital? No. You are transferring to the disposal of fixed asset. So, answer is here debit where?
Disposal of
Disposal of fixed asset. Credit
machinery.
machinery. Here amount
26,000.
should be same. 26 and 26. Come on, Hari, Bardu.
Accumulated depreciation debit.
24.
Okay.
Disposal of fixed assets credit.
Khalas. That's it. Anything else you are asking?
Cash receipt.
I'm sorry. There's one more.
This account. Third one.
Yes, sir.
The accumulated depreciation debit. Disposal fixed account credit. 24.
This account
Account.
Disposal.
of fixed asset.
Yes.
What's the meaning?
When you
Disposal of fixed asset.
you are selling this mobile,
Disposal of
then you will find out the profit or loss on selling this mobile. To calculate or to find the profit or loss on that, we open a special account for disposal. Disposal is PR.
Just 1 week.
This is temporary.
It will be temporary.
On the bank 3,000.
You know, Arabic.
Disposal fixed asset.
Arabic process.
My friend here, no, he will help us.
Disposal fixed asset.
Google. Yes, Google.
Disposal of fixed assets in start. Turkey. Mavi?
التخلص من أصول السلف.
Same or Mavi? Disposal of fixed assets.
سلف.
Now you understand? So
But in third case, in three case, value must be same. Same thing.
first and second.
يعني لا يعني first one 26,000 and second one also 24.
Yes.
24.
Yes.
Last
Yeah,
one.
the number will be same. Yes.
Ah.
Third one is what?
Cash bank receipts. Cash receipts.
Credit
You receive money. How much you receive?
3,000.
3,000. So first is debit, cash of bank, 12,000. Credit where?
Disposal.
Clear? Let's move on to the next scenario. There's one more interesting topic. Let's say this is known as part exchange. Let's assume this is a brand new car. This is my old car. I want to buy this brand new car and I want to give this old car. I go to Nissan showroom. Nissan showroom says, okay, your brand new car, 80,000 riyal or $80,000. The car that you are using, old or used car, old car, or sometimes we call it used car, only worth 15,000. Now, the cost of this old car is 40,000 when you purchased. Accumulated depreciation of this car 24,000. Now, I will complicate you all. First, can you calculate profit or loss on this deal?
16 minus 50. Loss.
You incurred a loss of
1,000.
1,000. You understood the answer or not?
I cannot see anything.
Oh. It's a lot of good, yeah. We can cover. We call it we can cover. سيارة مالنا جديد 80.
Okay.
لكن أنا في سيارة هذا قديم. هذا يعني شوروم قول واتي 15 بس.
Okay.
لكن أنت أول هذا يصير أنت ادفع هذا depreciation هذا وقت 24. الحين في سؤال هذا ديل هذا خسارة ولا فايدة؟ كم هذا؟ ما شاء الله. فهم هذه؟ اوكي. ناو انت جيب هذا سيارة كم فلوس انت تدفع؟
65. إذا اشتري هذا
انت اشتري هذا سيارة
أول.
انت جيب هذا سيارة ودي منها هو جيب هذا سيارة.
Okay, 65.
هذا topic قول part exchange. That's all. If you understand this story, then that means you understood part exchange. You have an old asset, you give that old asset, and you buy a new asset, and then you pay the difference. In this case, examiner will expect you to do two things. One, to calculate the profit or loss on the old one, and to find out how much difference you may have to pay by cash. Clear? Now let's find out. Let's do this through T accounts. How to do this through T accounts? I have a motor car account. Hala 40,000. And then I have accumulated depreciation, that is 24,000. So, still wicket covering? You know wicket covering means what? You know or you don't know? You know cricket? You don't know cricket?
Sorry?
Cricket, there is sport called cricket. Mafi malu cricket? Allah yaar,
هذا ايشيان كله كريكت.
هذا مجنون يعني.
India. Popular game in India.
هذا كريكت.
هذا كل نمرات سوي كريكت. هذا شنو ويكت؟ إنه ويكت ولا
هذا نادولي هذا نادولي.
ها
هذا كريكت.
هذا ويكت. لكن نمرات موجود مني هذا غلط. هذا نمبر سوي بول ويقول هذا غلط. أنا بيتر سؤال هذا. Okay, anyway, come back to the question. So, I have motor car 40,000, and then accumulated depreciation 24,000. Now I am buying a new car. For that, I am selling this old car. Technically selling, but am I getting cash? Do I receive cash? انت سيل سيارة منك انت يدفع فلوس لكن هو يدفع فلوس ولا يدفع؟
أنا يدفع.
انت يدفع لكن هذا شوروم يدفع فلوس ولا يدفع؟ لا فاهم صح؟ So now this goes. Transfer entire 40,000 to disposal account. That is entry number 1. So what you do? Entry number 1, debit disposal account credit asset account. Clear? Number 2. Now I need to transfer the depreciation also. 24,000 to this. So entry number 2, debit. This person. Third entry. In a normal circumstances, if you only sell the asset, you receive cash. But now we don't receive cash, we receive a new asset. So the new asset is still motor car. So what I'm going to do now, you see, I'm going to credit 15,000 here and then debit again to so don't get confused. This is the equivalent to proceeds. But in normal circumstances, I will write here cash. But now I'm not getting cash, I'm getting a new car. So I'm writing this. Now, how much I should write here?
65.
I should write 65,000 and that must be cash. And then, if you balance this, what do you get? You get 1,000 and that is profit and loss, and this profit and loss is the loss. Clear?
Why first one we calculate 40,000 plus 15?
I didn't understand what you're saying.
Can we go?
Okay.
This first one for 40,000 what?
Originally, brother, I had 40,000 loan. I had this old car. When I buy, at that time I paid 40,000.
Okay.
So that's why that's there in my motor vehicle asset account. I'm using it because of that only I have depreciation 24,000.
Okay.
Halas.
Halas.
Now today I'm selling this car to the Nissan car show.
Okay.
When you sell any asset, we have to calculate profit or loss on the disposal. That purpose, I am transferring 40,000 from there, from here to here.
Okay.
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 Good. Now, depreciation also same.
Other side.
Yes. Now, how much equal to this car now? Value. All it was 40, now the showroom is agreeing to give you only 15,000. So that 15,000 is this.
You bought it by 15,000.
I sold it for 15,000 to the showroom. I have a showroom, have a new brand new car. They are selling at 80,000. But the showroom told me, look brother, you bring in this car and you only pay 65,000. That means 15,000 worth this car.
Can I tell you again? You sold it to another one by 15,000.
Not to other one, direct to the showroom. Yeah, please.
You bought it first by 14,000.
Armena, yeah, you are.
Okay. You bought it by 14,000.
40, Armena.
Sorry, 40. After that, you sold it to what's the
Other showroom.
Other
Showroom
showroom.
yani nafsu showroom. Other Nissan, Toyota.
Canada
Ah,
by 15.
Aiva.
This correct to calculate 40 plus 15?
Why plus?
I'm asking
No,
you.
no, it's not correct.
هذه ديل تجارة. This is trading. Exchange.
But here cash 65.
Aiva.
Not think 55.
No, 65.
That's I'm asking you why you
No.
Oh.
Inta bakka hala total hali la.
That's what I'm asking.
La. Hala maafi. Hala 65 habibi.
ايوه ده يعني صبرت هذا
Okay. Inta shuf. Hali kala gone. Sa?
ايوه
Again, the total of these two how much?
80.
Hala plus hali. Tamanina. Sa?
80
Another comes 120, 120.
This cash coming from what? 65?
You pay from your pocket.
I paid it 65.
You need to buy a new car now. So you pay that 65,000.
ايوه
One question, when you are closing now, we need to brought for now, this is still a balance sheet account, 80,000.
Definitely,
So
yes.
they have to calculate and bring back.
Exactly. Yeah, do the same thing.
120,
Yes.
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 Same accounts balance off.
So this scenario known as part exchange.
Okay.
Okay. Let's move on. Okay, can you try the answer for this question? If you understood my example, this question is peanuts. Depreciation eating peanuts. You have experience eating peanuts?
Minutes?
Marun peanuts, Marun peanuts? Allah ya eat the Marun Malaysia.
I didn't know.
Other peanuts. Jumbo peanuts. Other famous in Sri Lanka. It's not in yet coming.
So 2000 loss.
Good number.
Maybe net damage.
Net pay dita.
Question number?
Page 137.
Mudir. Mana bola lah?
مكسرات
Nadi.
سوداني
Sudah.
سوداني
Other peanuts. True, Mali?
هذا انت شوف محمود سم هذا شجرتي مال محمود
They call this is in Arabic Habba Sudani.
Habba Sudan.
يعني محمود سوداني دولي هذا سم اسمه شجرتي سوداني هذا سوداني
Sudan. So Maratha ni ana Subah Mahmud ana itra Habba Sudan.
ايوه سوداني
Anyway, now let's go to the question. What is the answer?
So loss 2000.
2000 what?
Loss.
Can you show the working?
No,
Hitting kill bad.
no. I'll tell you. 40,000 minus 32. 8,000 he's getting.
The new, the 8,000 here, 8,000.
8,000,
Correct, yes.
right?
Ah.
And the depreciation provision 25
Yes.
plus 8,033.
Ah.
But cost is 35.
Hmm.
So the 2,000 loss.
So 35,000 was the cost of that old car,
Yes.
and the accumulated depreciation 25.
Fine. He's
So
getting
the net
8,000.
book value how much? 35 minus 25,
Yes.
10,000. And whereas he is receiving part exchange value only
8,000 pen. So 2,000.
Correct. And you
Can you explain this?
شوف هذا سيارة قديم هذا كم رسوم؟
سيارة قديم
هاي كوست
35 65
ايوه 35,000 35,000 هذا my accumulated depreciation كم هذه؟
25
So net book value how much?
10
10,000.
okay
Now you are selling this asset to this new car.
okay.
So when you are selling this asset to new car, how much they are asking you to pay? Now the cost of the new car is 40, but they are telling you to pay how much?
32
32. So that means they are for the old car. What is the value they are replacing? How much? 8,000. So But what is the net book value of this car?
يعني 10 minus 7
Ah,
يجي 2000.
try. You need time to try?
Loss ها؟
Okay,
loss.
Kasara. Okay. You try, yes.
First one different 10,000.
Yeah, that is what, the 10,000, what is the name?
The name, the cost of.
No, not cost. You don't say cost, no. Cost minus accumulated depreciation. You have a name, no? What is the name? Net book value or carrying value or carrying amount or written down value. Farm?
Okay, net book value.
Okay. Now, you are buying a new car. What is the cost of the new car?
40,000.
But how much they want you to pay?
32.
32,000. So then, what is the value they are placing for the old car?
10,000.
8,000. But how much is the net book value?
10.
10,000. So you making a profit or a loss?
Loss.
Loss. How much?
2,000.
So answer is
About 4.
loss on disposal 2,000. Clear? I told you about this that cream. There's one famous moisturizing cream for female, but that want to push on. What is that name? Famous one. Fair and Lovely. I told you that story. Since he read this number, he read it as 23 now. So I recall that story and tell you. There was a TV advertisement in Sri Lanka or in Asia. How the TV advertisement is like this. I think some of you know. So this is a TV now. They put the first they put one lady here, very dark, bright lady, and they put the Fair and Lovely tube here, and they bring another lady next screen. She becomes little fairer. Then another tube of Fair and Lovely, she becomes even fairer. This lady. Then another tube of Fair and Lovely. Then she becomes much better, beautiful, fair and all that. This was very successful advertisement in Asia. They brought this advertisement to Middle East. Not a single Fair and Lovely was not able to sell it. Problem is, these people were reading from the right to left. They thought, okay, very beautiful lady on the right hand side. After using this, I will become dark. Why should I buy this?
Same like washing powder also. Washing powder, first is dark, uniform is ugly.
Yes.
First, we put the washing powder,
Yes.
then it become white.
Yes.
That is from left to right.
Correct.
But if you put this one, a white t-shirt, if you put washing powder, it will become dark.
Dark. Then why should I put this? Anyway, just a joke, yeah, sir. On the outside, don't hit me, huh? Okay. Anyway, right now we wanted to move on to a very important topic. Before that, whatever we discussed up to now is very clear, because the next topic is even little bit tough. So, can you will have a separate video. One of the one of the major topic under IAS 16 is revaluation of. Now, when we talk about non-current asset or when we talk about property, plant and equipment, last time we discussed, we can categorize this into two. One is non-depreciable asset, other one is depreciable Let's say I have a piece of land here, 10 perch land. I purchased this land 10 years before. I paid 100,000 riyal before 10 years. What do you think the value today?
Increase.
It will significantly increase over the last 10 years. So, when the value of any given asset is increasing from the market point of view, remember, not from your personal deliberate manner, no. The market must substantiate that. It should represent from the market that the value is in fact increased. Not for your personal need, okay, I want my balance sheet looks beautiful, I should increase. No. So we feel that the market value is increasing, the return generating from that land also now much bigger. So therefore, we should consider revaluing these assets. As I said here, you have two different types of assets. One is known as non-depreciable asset. Only one asset we know, that is land. All other assets which have a limited life, which are known as depreciable asset. So both non-depreciable asset and or depreciable asset may be subject to revaluation. One more point, revaluation doesn't mean that I am increasing the value only. Revaluation also means that the value may go down as well. For example, I have a piece of machine. I am used it for the last 10 years. I purchased it for 1 million riyals. I used it for 10 years. Now, let's say I am producing soft drink, any given soft drink. But that soft drink is not good in the market or not recognized well or something. So this machine, we cannot normally use it for any other purpose. So, let's say the net book value at the end of the 10th year, let's say this machine life is 20 years. Assume like this. 1 million is the cost. So after 10 years, how much is the net book value now? Straight line method depreciation if you use, what do you think how much?
5 million.
5 million. Yeah, correct. 5 million will be the net book value. But the item that we produce is very famous in the market now or not? It's not. No one wanted to buy this. This production, no use. And one more thing, that machine cannot be used for any other purpose as well. So in this scenario, this machine will bring economic returns as we expected? No. So then we may have to think of bringing down the value of the asset. That is one scenario. Other scenarios, as I told you, land. I have a land purchased 10 years before, I paid 100,000 riyal, but now the value is much increased. So I should increase. So a revaluation means revising the value on a positive note or on a negative note. It could increase or decrease. Now we need to understand what the accounting standard says about this. Clear? So let's say that revaluation of non-current assets is which means to revise the net book value of any given asset based on its current economic conditions. Based on you need to see what is the economic return that this asset will generate now. The pace or the speed or the volume of the economic return is much bigger than before, then the value of the asset is much bigger. I should then think of revaluing it. Or conversely, the pace or the volume or the speed of the economic return is much smaller than before, then no point of keeping we have to bring it down. So this both way you need to think. So this one we have IAS 16 has its own provisions regarding this. Now,
Provisions.
provision means terms, rules, conditions like that.
No.
Now, before I talk further, when you talk about this profit and loss account, we talked about our profit and loss account. According to IAS 1, that is the very first accounting standard, that gives you the format of the profit and loss account. The profit and loss account mainly divided into two. The first section of the profit and loss account we call it profit and loss. The second section of the profit and loss account we call it OCI, means other comprehensive income. Okay. Now, when you prepare your profit and loss account, all your day-to-day normal profit and loss items will come here. All day-to-day normal P&L items will appear here. Whereas under OCI, what will come? These are not part of your day-to-day normal P&L item, but this will increase the economic position of the business. So these are profits from non-normal activities. Sometimes we call it from other comprehensive income. We call it like this. So please remember this. Now I am going to talk about the revaluation, and now I am going to repeatedly use these terms there. So that's why I have given you this here. So you need to remember that. Okay, now let's come back to the revaluation. IAS. What is the full form of IAS? Very good. I had a doubt you all remember or not. International Accounting Standard 16, Property, Plant and Equipment. Wait, Aywa.
For this IRF, this one.
IFRS.
IFRS overruled this one.
No. IAS 16 remain the same. There are some standard no change. Like IAS 2, we studied. IAS 16, we studied. Later we will talk about cash flow. IAS 7. That these three standard, no big change. That remain the same, but development taking place in other standards. So that time to time we will talk about it. Anyway, so revaluation, you tell me, let's say this asset, I am doing a revaluation. Should I do revaluation only one time? Or can I do several times? I can do several times, right? So standard talk about that. So standard talk about the rules or principles or accounting treatment required in doing the revaluation based on it is first time revaluation or a subsequent revaluation. So you talk about revaluation, could be first time, or it could be, I would rather say, okay, now let me take a very simple example. I have a land. The cost of the land, let's assume 100,000. After 10 years, what do you think the value of the land? The cost of the land.
Cost of the land
Or the net book value of the land.
Same.
It will be same, no? So after 10 years also it is 100,000. because no complication of depreciation is here. But you please remember, when you talk about land, again examiner can bring another complication. There is two different types of land. One is freehold land, and then other one is mineral rights.
Mineral
And
result.
mineral rights or mineral reserves. So for example, you go to Dukan, seashore, Qatar Petroleum has plant. They have put a well there and they are extracting oil from the land, not from the sea. So this type of land are not freehold. They have mineral reserves. The life of that type of land is not same like a freehold land. Understood? And also there is something called leasehold land, meaning I am the owner of the land, but he took my land to operate something for the 50 years. In his balance sheet, the life of the land is how many years?
50.
But no many land, no lifetime. So please remember these factors. But I am just talking about a very basic scenario. The land I purchased for 100,000, 10 years over, but still the cost of the net book value of the land is 100,000. Now, we found out that the land is having good market value now. So we thought of doing a revaluation and we have increased this land value to 200,000. This revaluation we have done how many? I mean, first or 10th or 5th or which one? This revaluation. First, very first revaluation, correct? The result of this, we are making a profit or a loss? We are making a profit on this revaluation. Revaluation, we don't name profit, we name it gain. Or actually we name it surplus. We call it surplus. The profit on the revaluation, we name it surplus. Okay, now we come to this rule. There's a rule here. So the result, first time, I may have a surplus. If I have a surplus, what must I do? What is the accounting treatment required? I should take this to other comprehensive income. Where should I take this? Other comprehensive income and statement of changes in equity. In financial statement, we have one section called statement of changes in equity. There we have to have a separate line item known as revaluation. There I should write it. Okay, now tell me how much I should write here?
Profit.
Only the surplus. Surplus is how much? 100,000. Is this clear? Yes, sir, clear? Clear? Okay. Now, if it's a loss, we call it deficit. Let's say 100,000 is the cost of the net book value of the land. I have revalued this to 75,000. So I make a deficit. How much? Now what is the treatment? IAS 16 says, whenever you make a first time, in a first time revaluation, if it's ending up a deficit, you immediately take this to profit and loss account as loss. That means where? Where you will take it? Here or here?
The main.
There, on top. But if it's a surplus, you will take it here. That's what I have written here. OCI. OCI is this section. If it's a surplus first time, you will put it down here. But if it's a loss, you put it down here.
So that loss will be as a trading main activity.
Exactly. Normal our other administrative expense and all that, you will write loss on revaluation, one line item, it will come here. But if it's a gain or surplus, revaluation surplus, you will display or put it down here. Later we go to inshallah studying F7. we will talk about income tax. And there is implication of income tax because of revaluation. This is different tax. So there we talk more about it. The lot of adjustments are there. But here we don't need to worry about it. We simply think that I have to disclose the revaluation surplus here, revaluation deficit here. Okay. Now, this is the first time. Now, as we said, that we also could do the revaluation subsequent time now. First time we do, and we may also do another revaluation after 2 years, 3 years. We may again do another revaluation. We call it subsequent revaluation. Is that clear? That's understood? Good. Now think a scenario. What could be the possible outcome? We may have two outcomes. Either I may end up a loss or I may end up a surplus. If I end up a surplus, I have a very smooth life. No problem. Take it to other comprehensive income and statement of changes in equity. Now, for example, let's say I made another 50,000 surplus. If I make a 50,000 surplus, what I do? I will be showing here other comprehensive income and what you call statement of changes. But suppose if I make a deficit, now tell me how much was the first time gain? 100,000. Let's say the deficit is 150. Please follow carefully now. My previous year, last time I made a surplus of 100,000. Now I am making a deficit of how much? 150,000. Also, at F7 level, they will bring depreciation complication as well. But F3, you all not being worried about that. Don't worry. Anyway, now I have a gain of 100. I have a loss of 150. What am I going to do now? Up to the extent of the previous surplus, I have to write off that amount in how much? This 100,000 I will take to other comprehensive income and the statement of changes in equity. Why? I already have 100,000 there. So I will take from that. I gave 100,000 to other comprehensive income as a surplus. Now I am incurring a loss. So first what I do, I will take it from there. Now what is the balance?
50.
This 50,000. What will I do? Can you tell me logical answer?
Go to
loss.
P&L.
It will be directly to P&L as a loss. Is that clear? Or is looks like I am talking Chinese language to anyone? Baha, understood or not?
Yeah, almost.
You? Okay. Now go back to loss. First time I incur loss. How much was the loss? 25,000, right? Sorry, 75,000. Is that? No, 25,000 is the loss. Now, subsequent, first possibility is loss. If the last time loss and this time loss, life is easy. What you do is, let's say now the loss is 50,000. What I do? I take it to P&L, 50,000, story finished. But the surplus now, 50,000, what will you do? Can you relate from the first half of the story now?
So 25 go to P&L
As what?
as the current loss. And 25
No. Now you have surplus now. 50,000 surplus you have. So how are you going to report this?
25 to P&L.
Go to P&L as what?
As loss.
No.
As surplus.
As an income, other income. It will have to deduct net off the the wording is like this. To the extent of the previous losses, that should be credited to the profit and loss account. Anything more should go where?
To the
Other comprehensive income and statement of changes in equity. So here 25,000 to P&L and the other 25,000 other comprehensive income and statement of changes in equity. This is the complete theory. Please remember this. This will be tested in your questions. And this chart is very important. If you are thinking that anything you don't understand, let me know. I can repeat and explain. But otherwise, I can continue. What do you want me to do?
So this last part again just repeats. The last.
This one or
Yes.
this one?
No, this one is clear.
Here.
Yes.
So you have a previous, last time you have a loss of 25,000.
Yes.
Correct? Now you have another loss of 50,000. Either a loss or a surplus. If it's loss, same story. Take it to profit and loss account, 50,000, you debit to P&L. You consider as loss, Karas. But if it's a surplus, then you should see last time what happened.
Loss.
It's a loss. So you have to consider, see, if it's a loss, we taking into profit and loss account now.
Correct.
So when I have a surplus, to the extent of the previous losses, I should take it to profit and loss account as consider the income. And the balance,
If I is a surplus,
you
you
know,
can-
that's a logic also. We are paying dividends. We are paying dividends to whom? To the shareholders. The shareholders' dividends are from available distributable profits. The distributable profits coming from the retained earning. Retained earning is from the result from this. Result from here. Not from here. Result from this, meaning only from the profit and loss account. So these are non-distributable.
So no money, no cash.
No, you will have reserves, but that is according to law, you cannot distribute as dividends.
When you revalue, there is
Yeah, exactly. It's also what we call not a cash profit. It's a book profit only. Understand me? So what you do really, you have to consider paying dividends from the available profits here, not from here. As he said, that's one valid point. That when you do a revaluation, you don't have cash profits. It's just that the book profits. So that's why we do these logical reversals of the entries. Clear? Or clearly complicated.
again one more question. Again,
Yeah.
if it is
And,
over,
yeah, sir, we have to explain Mr. Mahadis peanuts. And he teach me one thing now. Tomorrow I will meet Mahmood and ask about it. Okay, you have a question.
that beginning putting into the P&L,
Hmm.
P&L when it is closed, the loss.
Yes.
So why we are again when it's 50,000
See,
loss?
see that you will not go back to the, let's say, 2020, 2021. The 2020, the loss of 25,000. And the 2021 profit and loss account, you have to do this. You will not go back to that year and do this.
Yeah, okay.
So that's what you have to do. Okay, can we try?
And also revaluation.
Then before that I will talk about the double entries, accounting entries.
So there is no period of time. We will anytime we can do, or there is in
Yeah.
IAS.
Yeah. Accounting entries, revaluation. Entry number 1. Debit. Actually, there are two methods. The book. Let me reconfirm at the book there. Book is teaching only one method, so I don't talk about the other method, okay? For the entry number 1, debit, accumulated depreciation, credit, asset, prospect of. So this is entry number 1. What you will do, okay, I will explain you after completing the entries. Second entry, entry number 2. This is entry number 1. Entry number 2. Surplus, debit, asset account, credit.
The first is if deficit, no?
What?
The revaluation is deficit, right? The first entry.
No. Accounting entry is revaluation. That's it.
So accumulated depreciation.
That's the first entry. I will give you example. Don't worry. Just copy the entries now. So if surplus, no. That's not that. So in entry 2 you will have 2 entries. If surplus, debit, asset account, credit, revaluation. If deficit. These are the entries, only 2 entries here. Now let's do a small question to understand this entry. Remember, when you are doing a revaluation, the day or time when you do the revaluation, on that day your accumulated depreciation should become 0. Previously calculated depreciation should be totally wiped off. We cannot keep. So what you do? You debit here 40,000 and then transfer this to land and building. So what will happen to your accumulated depreciation then? Zero. This becomes 0, right? That's the first entry I did. See here? That's my first entry. I debited,
First time.
I debited the accumulated depreciation and then credited to asset cost account. Whatever the asset that I wanted to revalue. So that's the first entry. Now, we want to know what is the value that we are placing. Let's say I am placing a new value, 70,000, carrying forward. So if the new value is 70, what do you think? We making a surplus or a deficit?
60. Surplus.
How much?
10.
10,000. Actually, I don't write this here. I don't write first. I just written for you to understand. So, revaluation, surplus, 10,000. Now we balance this. When I balance this, I have a carried forward balancing figure. How much? 70,000. And now I will open one more T account, revaluation. So this comes 10,000 coming from land and building. And this will be transferred to other comprehensive.
الريفالويشن ده يا استاذ محمد زي يعني بروفيت ارباح
يعني
ريفالويشن
10,000
لا ريفالويشن نوتس ميني
revaluation
Value.
يعني changing the value حبيبي. أول value هذا ممكن هذه 2000. Now I believe okay now this I can sell it in the market 5,000. But I don't want to sell it. But I can still sell it for 5,000. So I'm changing.
ريفالويشن
Yeah. Let's ask the Google also, no?
Revaluation.
Revolution? Sorry.
Revaluation.
Revaluation.
حاجة التقييم.
Clear? So this is example one. When we are making a surplus. So we'll do another example when we are making a deficit. Example two. Land and building 100,000. Brought forward. Accumulated depreciation brought forward 40,000. What is the first entry? I should debit
40,000
to
answer to here.
I should debit to accumulated depreciation 40,000 and then credit to
Asset.
land and, so here land and building, here accumulated depreciation. Suppose my credit forward value is 40,000. I am making a surplus or a deficit. What do you think?
Again,
And see, after doing revaluation, this particular land and building, my new value is 40. In that case, I am making a profit or a loss.
Plus
How much?
60.
20.
Huh?
20.
20,000. From where you get 60? 60, brother, is the net book value, but the new value is 40. So you get only 20,000. So I delete this. We call it revaluation deficit. 20. And then when you balance this, we have a balancing figure carried forward how much? Then you have revaluation deficit 20,000 coming from land and building. This will go to profit and loss account. 20,000. Clear? But sometimes, also please remember, in a company, you will not do revaluation only for one asset. You may do revaluation for your machine, your furniture, your land, then you may end up having several results. Some surplus, some deficit. All you should put it down first, only one account. We call it, in common, we call it revaluation account. Kalas, understood? Okay, let's see now where are we now. Okay, anyway, time up. Now 4:15. We'll stop at this point and we'll continue Monday at 8 p.m. But anyway, you can try this question. If you want to try now, before we stopping also I am happy. Or if you want to try at home also I am happy. What do you want me to do? This question. The building costing 100,000, which depreciation 20 has been charged, is to be revalued 150.
Tonight,
Last one is 20,000. Revaluation and
This one 20,000?
70.
Revaluation is 70.
Ah, yes, that's correct. 70.
Accumulated depreciation 20.
Yes.
Then current assets.
I don't know why they put the box here. Here it is.
Deficit loss of price. Already surplus is given.
Yeah.
Accumulated depreciation 80,000.
No, brother. 20,000. No?
20.
It's written there 20. Accumulated depreciation 20.
20. But what here depreciation?
Yeah, that's the only thing. No, you don't have any other information.
Okay.
Then from where you get 80,000? This is cost. Non-current asset building cost. 100,000. Accumulated depreciation 20. So 80. And revaluation surplus 70. So what is the new value will be there? So this net book value is 80. This 70. So 80 plus 70.
100.
100. We also put that. Activity number what? Nine, right? Yeah, I had that job. See what they are trying to do here is this. Please remember, any of your double entry, both sides total should be equal. So I have two debits here and one credit. Is that right? Yeah. The credit is 70,000. Correct, no? That is what? Surplus. And then accumulated depreciation is 20. So then this asset account, additional amount that I need to debit. See, originally I have 100,000, now I am bringing 150. So that means 50,000 is increasing. So that is 50. So that's why 150 minus. Yeah. So that is the answer here. 150 minus 100 will be equal to 50, and here 20, and this is 70. Okay, we'll stop at this point and we'll continue on Monday.
Mr. Muhammad, if
Yes.
we say 150 minus 100, it will come 50 plus
Correct.
20. Is this not correct?
Correct, it's
No.
50 here.
No, last one.
Last one is
Last one.
Yeah,
Because if we say 100 minus 20, it will come 80.
yes,
Minus 150, it
is
will come
70.
60.
70.
Okay, and if we say 150 minus 100,
100 is 50.
okay, it will come 50.
50.
Plus 20,
70.
same, yeah, same,
Same,
same
same.
issue.
Ah.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Okay, I will right away share this note to Mr. Baha.